never say goodbye.
Record Club. Matisse and Sanko.
Girls who are boys, who like boys to be girls, who do boys love their girls, who do girls love their boys. Girls who are boys, who like boys to be girls, who do boys love their girls, who do girls love their boys. Girls who are boys, who like boys to be girls who do boys.
And what is up, everyone? It is, episode 1 of State of the Gathering. I am joined with my two co-hosts, Brandon and Nanman. What is up, guys?
Not much. Skype hates me.
Oh, yeah,
Skype?
it does.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we needed Skype to not hate you tonight, so therefore it does.
Exactly.
So I'll add the
Just-
picture on, so.
Yep.
Yeah. No, my camera works for every other program. Like, it even shows up when I'm viewing it for Skype, or if I'm using XSplit or anything else, it shows up for me, but it's not going across the interwebs. So.
No, not yet. And Brandon just doesn't have his cam with him, so.
Yeah.
A plus, sir.
I have one, and I have a laptop, but the power cord for the laptop just died, so I have to go find my actual webcam. So no camera, Red. Sorry, bro.
No camera tonight, but that's okay. It is episode 1, and we'll start out and we'll get things rolling and go over the general gist of the show. So what we saw is a real opening for 3 guys that have three very big different opinions on Magic itself. You have me, which my name is Hand from Above in game, but I go by, basically, people call me the mad scientist a lot because my decks seem to resemble some freak show that tends to work and work very, very well. We'll go over one of those decks tonight. We do have a deck tech we're going to do every week, guys. Nan Man, he's a pretty avid Magic goer. You've been doing it for a while, haven't you, sir?
I have. I guess I started a long time ago and then never got too into it because I didn't have as many people to play. But I guess when I really started getting into it was like Zendikar block, and now I'm playing a lot more in Standard. I'm using a Mazen deck because it's a lot of fun.
You.
Even if I don't win a lot, it's a lot of fun to play silly decks like that. So I'm messing around with a Mazen right now in Standard, and I'm trying to draft a lot more because that's a lot of fun as well.
Well, also, you have the chance to draft one of those coveted Voice of Resurgences still out there.
Yeah.
So.
I know, right?
Yeah,
And
it's
then-
never bad to draft a $60 card.
No.
That's okay.
No. I know we have Brandon. You go by Morale now, right?
Yeah,
And give us a little background on you, sir.
for sure. Like I said, Morale, 4 million Muataran, or kind of still. I kind of go by either one. A lot of stuff is still Muataran, like my YouTube, so either one's fine by me. I've been playing Magic for a while, not a lot though. Like I played Pokemon when I was a kid. That's how I got started into trading card games, and then I kind of graduated into
Pokemon?
Magic. Yep, Pokemon.
I skipped Pokemon. I just kept Magic. 16 years of it.
See, I was too young at that
Yeah.
point, and Magic would have been like, so they regenerate after. So why? What's the point of doing damage unless? I mean, this doesn't make sense. It's in Pokemon, it's like permanent damage, but I started with that, and then just kind of graduated up to Magic when it kind of got boring to play Pokemon. It was a little too simple, and then someone was like, "Why don't you just try Magic? It's kind of amazing," and it is. So I played really casually for a long time. And then very recently I started drafting a lot more, and I've also started playing some Standard. I've got a Jun deck in Standard right now, which is essentially removal and Thragtusk with Lotla Troll and Dragmangler. It's pretty fun.
Troll
Maybe we'll
is
deck
OP.
tech it. Yeah, Troll is so good. I say if we deck tech it, it'll take about 5 minutes. It'll be like, hey, so I have these creatures that work well together. That's it.
But that's what
It's
Jun
pretty
does. I
simple.
mean, Jun
Oh, yeah.
stabilizes itself and then just gets stupid.
Yeah, it just dominates everything
Yeah.
ever. I will say the one thing that I really need is more Thragtusk.
You can
Yeah,
never
that's
have
true.
too many.
Always
It's
need
true.
more Thragtusk.
But the beauty is, so the way the show's going to go, guys, we're going to have some topics. We're going to talk about our week because we play Magic every week. I play online 3 to 4 times a week, and then in store because I work in a local card shop, Paradise Games. If you're in Rochester, New York, go to Paradise Games. They're over in Village 8 Plaza. They do support the stream here, so a lot of love to them. So, but yeah, I play often. I know Nanman plays often, and Brandon, well, Brandon just drafted possibly one of the best cards on online you could ever draft. It was a Voice of Resurgence, and then the next pack he opens is an Angel of Serenity. So I could have kicked him into something for that, but
On stream, so there's proof.
there is proof it did happen.
Yeah. I think I played it versus you too, didn't I?
You did, and
Yeah.
it did not happen. So
Yeah. It
it's
was
all
good
right.
times.
It's always good times. So, I mean, really, let's go over our weeks. I mean, so far, honestly, this week I haven't gotten to play, unfortunately. I was probably going to play some tomorrow night. I was going to do some online drafting. So I'll probably be on my channel. I'll probably be doing some fun stuff like that. But, I mean, for me, I've been deck teching out. We have M14 coming around, and M14 has me very excited. We'll go into that later, because that's going to be like the next 3 weeks of our chats
Yeah, there's
we're going to be having.
lots to
Yeah.
talk about with that.
So much.
Basically, I'm looking really forward to M14. So I've already deck teched out 2 decks that I'm going to be changing into. I did run a Naya mid-range deck for a long time, which I still have, but I'm gutting to make it Naya tokens. Which then there's going to be a Voice of Resurgence or 2 in there.
Of course.
'Cause
Why would you not put it in?
if you're running Naya and tokens, you got to do it. So
Oh yeah.
I mean, for me, what I really plan on doing now is just kind of teching out. I'll probably draft until M14 hits, and then my new decks will take shape, and we'll talk about those tonight. What about your week, Nanman? How was it?
So I haven't had a chance to play any super competitive this week. Some people might know that I have a weekly game night that I do at my house where a couple people will come over, we'll play board games and stuff like that. Well, a couple of my buddies came over earlier, and we were just doing like free-for-alls and 1v1s and stuff like that. And so I got to mess around with some of my older decks, like my Infect deck, which doesn't get much
I
love
hate
anymore. But I know it's I like to make these really annoying decks
I
with
bet you do.
other win conditions. My girlfriend calls them dick decks.
I would
Because
tend to
I'm a
agree
dick,
with her
but-
on that.
Yeah.
In
I
fact,
know,
it's one of those
especially-
decks I just hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's silly.
It's evil. So.
It's silly. 10 points of damage to win a game of Magic is not.
Yeah, and then you bring out a 4/4. It's like great.
Yeah. And then you give them trample or flying or unblockable, and it's
Yeah.
it's me. So I was using fun decks like that, but actually one of my buddies that was playing with us, he just drafted for the first time, and he got a lot of Boros stuff, and so now he's kind of constructing a Boros deck for Standard because he hasn't played Standard yet. So
Oh, so he'll have fun.
yeah, so we
Should I show him how to do 5-card control or 5-color control?
No.
he does have an old school 5-color deck with Door to Nothingness and stuff like that. So.
5-color control is where it's at when you draft.
See, I like when Dragon Maze first came out, it was, but it's kind of changing, thankfully. Or not
we'll,
kind of changing.
we'll talk
it's
about Dragon
completely
Maze. That's the
Yeah.
giant pink elephant in the room that
changed.
if you play Magic, everyone kind of grumbles over. So, what about you, Brandon? How was your week?
Well, I played my cube, which was fun. I played the craziest game of Plane Chase ever. I had a Voice of Resurgence on loan from a friend of mine, so I threw it in there, and somebody got it. And there's the one where I think it's every time you play a creature, everyone makes a copy of it,
Oh yeah,
something like that. Yeah. So we were all just sitting there with like 6 Voice Resurgence tokens. It was kind of insane. We actually all ended up losing because of some crazy Necropotence play, but whatever. I also played Standard on Wednesday. My Jund deck. I went 2-2. I was actually really close to prizing. Where I play, if you go 3-1, you usually get something. Obviously, you go 4-0, you're gonna prize. And I was playing at a Jund mirror, and all 3 games were so insanely close. Mine's a really aggressive Jund deck. His is kind of more defensive. So it essentially was I'm playing Lot the Troll and Drake Mangler and Vampire Nighthawk, trying to get him dead, and then he'd play something just huge that deals with everything, or he'd like randomly get a bonfire, miracle, and just every single game was like that, and they all went. I had him down to under 5 health in each game. I won the first one and lost the second 2. So close. Very disappointing to not get there because that would have been the first time I prized in Standard. But the deck's getting better. I recently took out like Clan Defiance because it's bad. And put
Well,
Dreadbore,
because
which
we
helps so
talked
much.
we talked about that.
Yeah.
I
You're
helped
familiar.
them. The mad scientist did help you on that deck a little bit. So I mean, Clan Defiance, I did run it in my Naya deck for a bit. My problem was it just wasn't. It wasn't consistent enough to do what
Yeah.
it costed to do. So
I completely agree.
dropping it out, putting in Dreadbore, which then you can dump Planeswalkers. You can dump.
I love Dreadbore.
Oh, Dreadbore is one of the best removal cards ever
So
if you
good.
can get it in there.
I killed
I mean-
the Domri. This felt so good.
Oh yeah, they're like, oh, I'm gonna play a Domray. Oh, Dreadbore.
Yeah.
It's like, aw.
Shucks.
Yeah, like, you don't even need to attack the Domray at that point. It's like, I'm just gonna Dreadbore it, now swing in at you, because you're defenseless. Thank you. So, yeah, that, you'll get better. I mean, the Jund deck, we'll work
Yeah.
out the kinks and
I really think it's just Thrag Tusk.
more
I-
Tusk.
Yeah, more tusks.
You
Although
just
it
need
is,
100% more Tusk, right?
I know I've been looking on eBay trying to get some for cheaper. I almost got 4 for $20, and some
Wow.
guy was like, "No, you will
No
not
way.
get the Strike
Quick
Tusk."
bid higher.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause my max was 30, which is what 2 tusks would cost
Yeah.
if I just went to a store and bought them. So I'm like, all right, I'm willing to pay that. He
Yeah.
bet like $45, so didn't go for me. It sucked.
Yeah, I'm an avid eBayer. I actually can vouch I have probably 90% of my M14 cards I want already ordered.
Nice.
Because, well, I'm a freak like that. So,
Still holding off ordering
well, let's get
anything.
into what we're going to go over this week. I figured we'd hold deck tech towards the end, unless you guys want to do it in the beginning.
No, I
Because
like
that'll segue into M14. So,
Yeah, I think that's good.
Also, questions.
wanna
because I'm
do-
sure-
or do you want to do Dragon Maze first?
I think we should do Dragon Maze first.
All right, so Dragon Maze has been out for a month and a half now, we'll say. Almost 2 months.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel, I know it was just a filler set, but I honestly feel they fell short in a lot of things on Dragon Maze. I mean, yeah, you had great cards like Voice of Resurgence come in, and that was a card actually Wizards have now come out and said, we shouldn't have printed that, because Voice is just, for a cost of 2, you can shut down an Esper control deck. Sorry, guys.
It's a good
So,
Well, what other cards from the set do you feel like that you're not happy with? Like, because you say you're not happy with the set overall. Were there any other cards that you're like?
let me grab the set here. Give me 1 second. I don't have it in front of me, so.
Some of the rares or the uncommons. Like, I think the format itself didn't go well with some of the uncommons. Like you look at Hunter, it's a fine card.
Well, I
But-
mean, if you go into it, like Renounce the Guilds, I feel is a good card. Like
I
that,
love it. I have it in my Maze
yeah.
End deck.
Renounce is a great
Oh,
card.
yeah.
I'll go color by color. I mean, I'm looking at all the list here. I mean, I know a lot of them. So Renounce, I definitely feel it was a needed card. White needed some sort of removal where you could put it in a Naya Blitz or straight white decks I've started to see come out. So good card. The Scion, he's playable, kind of.
Yeah,
little
it's-
expensive.
He is a little expensive.
But
I guess it's because the populate. It's like
Yeah.
you don't want to make him too cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest one, Blue got something to close out games. Honestly, Blue has not had anything to close out games. If you're Black Blue or something like that, but if you're trying to go some control-y, just Blue, or just Blue in general, you didn't have any closeout. You'd had to go mix into something bigger. Like a Black or something like that to get it bigger. Now they put Etherling in. I think that card's a great card. It's
Yeah.
basically like a giant FU card.
Yeah, I mean, if you
It's
have
pretty
blue
cute.
and that so many people are just having it in their side, if not in their main, like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so good.
I see
Etherling's
a lot
a
of people
great.
run. I've seen a lot of people run one main and like 2 in their side.
Mm.
Yep.
Just because if you get that mirror, you need more Aetherling. If you're not in the mirror,
Right.
Yeah.
you just want the one, because eventually it will kill you. Like, there's no question here. Eventually Aetherling will kill you unless
Oh,
you
yeah.
have more Aetherling than your opponent.
Etherling will just get big and just trample you. To me, Blood Scrivener, not awesome. Pontiff of Blight, I think way too expensive. Kind of cool to give Extort, but at the same point, you're going to have to ramp up to get it out quicker so you can extort more.
I think in the deck, though, with the Orzhov deck, I thought that was actually a really good card. Like, if I saw that in a draft, I just...
Oh, yeah, if you're running like an Orzhov in your draft, I'm going
Yeah.
over like standard, my eyes out of standard.
Okay, yeah, sure.
If you're drafting it, I mean, a Scrivener is decent because you're going to be drawing an empty hand pretty quickly. Most times in draft, you by turn 8, you're pretty empty. You might have one card in your hand.
Yeah.
Pontiff in standard, yeah, you're going to get to turn 8, you're going to get a Pontiff out. And then you can just start doing all that fun stuff. Possibility Storm, while I may say it's not a great standard card, I play it in standard. I have a, like you, Nanman, I have a Mazes on deck. It runs Possibility Storm. It's a giant screw deck. We might deck that one later on for you guys if you're in chat and you actually want to see a Mazes End deck that actually wins like a lot. Pyrowild Shaman, I mean, and anything in red, there really wasn't anything else. Like the Rumblebelt Maka is good because it blood rushes for 1, and it gives you a 3/3. So, I mean, if you have one in your hand and you have like a 2/2 out on the field by turn 2, you can blood rush it if they don't block it to do 5 points of damage. So, and plus Riot Piker is really good in a standard. So,
Really? It's actually, like, I see Riot Piker in a draft, and I don't even take it then. Like, I'll take it late, but I won't take it really. Is it actually, it's good in standard?
it's I've seen them play it in Reg Deck wins because it's got first strike.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
a 2-drop for 2/1 with first strike.
You just throw madcap skills on it.
Yeah, you throw a madcap skill on it, and then literally it's just like, it gets just stupid.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it does. Okay. That makes sense.
Green-wise, the Renegade Crassus Air, yet again, a card that is good, but not great. The one out of the green I love, and I actually, in my Naya decks, have run, is Skylasher. I absolutely adore
Skylasher's
Skylasher.
pretty sweet. I have to say, the Gatekeeper, Ceruli Gatekeeper, is the only Gatekeeper that I like out of all the ones that came
out
out.
of the Gatekeepers, because, I mean, it was a great idea. Okay, we're going to put a lot of gates in this deck. People are going to have to start running gates. And I think people do need a wake-up call that, if you're running standard, you're going to see more gates in standard.
Even when the set first came out, like, just drafting, that was a strategy that you could do, is just straight up gates and gatekeepers.
Well, I remember in Triple Dragon Maze, the best deck was Species Gorger, Gatekeepers, and Gates.
Yeah.
It was unbeatable because you just keep replaying your Gatekeepers for insane value. You've only got Gates right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my biggest thing is, I look it over and, like, the Skylasher. I absolutely adored the Skylasher. It's a flash card. It can't be countered. It's got reach. It's protection from blue. For 2, and it's a 2/2, I thought that was great. For price for pound of that card, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Another card which I didn't think too much of in the beginning, and then really just got slapped in the back of the head by a friend of mine, and now I realize it's probably one of the best cards in the game right now, is Advent of the Worm.
Oh, yeah.
Advent for 4 pops a 5/5 worm or trample, and it's an instant, and nowadays people are mixing that with a blue, so you can, like, Snapcaster Advent of the Worm again.
Yeah.
I've seen that in one of our guys in standard runs that. It's the most retarded thing. You have to, like, stop the snap. You have to counter the Snapcasters.
You're just dead.
Yeah. It gets overpowered.
I can imagine, so.
Blood Baron, he's good. I don't think he's worth all the hype that they've been giving him. Because he's beatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got protection from white and black. But if you've got a giant army in front of him, he's going to have to block with it. Yeah, you're going to give him 4 life back. But at that point, so. So, really, I'm just going down my list. Deathbridge Chant and the Council of Absolute, I think, were not big cards at all.
You didn't like.
They're
So
not.
the thing about Deathbridge Chant is so many people see it like, oh, you get to pull someone to your graveyard. No, you just get to draw an extra card,
Yeah.
which is incredible. So I actually really like that card.
See, I think it's too expensive for 6, but
Yeah, alright, that's fair. It is just a sideboard card though.
Yeah,
You don't main deck that.
no. The biggest thing I think that was successful out of Dragon Maze, and I'll tell everyone that, is the legendaries. They came out with a legendary for really a lot of the sets. You know, the Amara for Selesnya. She, I think, is great. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to creature tokens you control.
Wait, what?
You didn't see that?
Is that a good card?
If you're running it, if you run like a one-off in like a Naya deck, like a Naya
Okay.
token, she's actually pretty good.
Alright. I read that card and I was like, this is a 5/7 that's insanely expensive and it just protects tokens. It's
But
pretty
just
bad.
think if you're running Naya tokens.
Yeah. If you're running pure token, I just haven't seen
Yeah.
that too much.
Well, what do you think I'm working on?
Yeah, I know you are.
Duh.
You're also, crazy and make these weird decks that doesn't make sense to anyone. Until you play it, they're like, wait a second. Did that just happen? Yes.
Well, that's like tonight's deck tech for anyone watching. Tonight's deck tech, you're going to be looking at cards going, where is he getting the stuff for that? And yeah, you're just going to scratch your head, and we're all going to chuckle, and then you're going to see it played, and you're going to go,
Yep.
wow, it works.
This actually works, yeah.
One of my favorite cards, honestly, though, was Gruul War Chant
Hmm.
and Legion's Initiative. Those two cards, I think, were great. Because Gruul War Chant's like a Madcap skill on crack. So you're giving, like, Naya and Gruul decks the ability... Like, if you draft a Gruul War Chant, my buddy, every time he's drafted one or seen one, he wins. He goes
Really?
3-0. Because it literally just says, oh, well, I have that out by turn 4. You only have 2 guys out. I have 3. I get 2 by every turn at this point because you have to assign 2 blockers to 1 creature. And then they get an extra 1-0. So I thought that was a great card.
Yeah.
It gives Gruul a little bit more of that oomph. And then Legion's Initiative I really liked. It gave the ability to counter Supreme Verdict.
Mhm.
Yeah,
we
let's-
all-
let's see that.
Anyone in Standard or has played Standard, Supreme is just... We can all agree.
It's silly.
I was like, I have 3 in my maze end right now in the main.
You should. You should have
Like,
four.
well,
Is the
yeah,
fourth the
it's
sideboard?
yeah.
Yeah, I figured it would be.
Don't want to go
it's a
too
good
crazy now, you know.
No,
No,
don't worry,
no.
Tom. I'll bring out the Maze's End deck maybe next week. We'll do a deck tech for it.
Yeah,
Or-
Legion Initiative is so good though.
Oh, Legion Initiative is great because it gives you that flash ability. So it's like, oh, you're supreming, tap 2, and all my cards are gone, and now they come back.
Yep.
And now you have just wiped your board, and I have now can kill you.
The thing with that is people running Supreme Verdict have like 4 creatures in their deck. They're all
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
it's not really that big of a deal because they can just flat or they can bounce it.
Yeah, but they'd have to then supreme you again. I mean, it
Yeah.
really kind
Oh
of
yeah.
it locks
It's
down
good.
that. The one I kind of really enjoyed, I think he's a good draft card, is Master of Cruelties.
Yes.
I love Master of Cruelties.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's running a deck. It's Grixis colors, and it's essentially Teleportal Master of Cruelties and All to Burn. That's it. I helped him build that one. It was pretty fun.
Melik,
No, he's bad.
yeah, he's just really bad. Miracle
Yes.
Vosk, I've gotten a new respect for him, and he's now in my newest deck that I'm running, which is a very much standard mill deck. I brought mill
Yep.
back, and you'll see that on my stream when I do stream it. Yeah, everyone has seen it, has experienced it, and they are shocked that there's not a Jace in that deck to be ever seen.
I'm shocked that there's not a Jace in that deck.
I
Go
know.
get one.
I have them, I just don't run them.
Why? So good.
Not needed.
Ugh, drives me nuts.
Not needed.
I'm like, what is it? That dude whose power and toughness are equal to the number of cards.
Consuming
you're
aberration?
Yeah, you have that and no Jace. Mind blown. Like, do you not want to give your creature an extra 10 power and toughness every turn you have
Do
a
you
Jace?
not realize how much stuff I cast that he just keeps milling it out anyway?
Ugh, I don't know, it just,
Why waste the space? That's what I said.
Because it's a
Because
planeswalker
Jace
and
is
they're
so good. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have that talk later.
All right. Well,
Notion.
so I'm gonna pull up another card again, going
Okay.
along with Master of Cruelties. Sire of Insanity.
Oh yeah, Sire I did like. Sire I thought was a
sucked.
great card. You know which one kind of snuck under the radar for me though?
Which
While
one?
I don't think the set was, like I said, I don't think the set was great, but it had some great cards.
Mhm.
Was Sin Collector.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Let me explain to you why this card, or anyone who's listening and doesn't understand why Sin Collector is like one of the best cards ever printed for Esper. Essentially, if you're playing in a control mirror, this isn't good versus like a Gruul creature deck. If you're playing in a control mirror, your opponent is intending to play only spells for a long time, and every
Yes.
time you play Sin Collector, you just get rid of one of them. And if you play 4, this is when we get to the point where we have Sin Collector beatdown, and that's a real thing because you've exiled their entire hand. And they just can't deal with your Sin Collectors, and you win off four creatures.
Yes, it's actually I've seen it done.
Oh yeah, it happens so many times at Dragon Maze Pro Tour. Because
Yep.
Esper Control is like, why would I not play this card?
Exactly. It's like, hello, hello.
Yeah.
The other
It's
card
always
which
good.
I've actually kind of, I mean, we did get one Planeswalker,
Right.
Rawl. He's good. I don't. His ultimate's different.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It,
It is.
it's cool. It's like, oh, I got to do his ultimate.
If you
Eh.
have something that taps their stuff, and then you ult, you just
Yeah.
like push their face, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. It's just, it's
And
different.
he flings lightning bolts at people.
Yeah, that too.
-2, 3 damage. Boom.
Yeah, I
Like-
mean, you had Obstinate's Aid. Yeah. Plasm Capture, Plasm Capture, I was actually a big fan of. It's a little expensive, but I have managed to use it in Draft to stop Supreme Verdict.
Oh,
Or not
yeah,
Supreme
it's-
Verdict, but Sphinx's Rev. I
Nice,
captured a
yeah.
guy doing a 10x Sphinx Rev with it. And I said, oh, thanks for the 10 mana next turn.
Yeah.
I will win
Yeah.
now.
The perfect play from there is to be like, oh, now that I have all the extra mana, Aetherling. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I
You
just
can
pumped.
do
I
anything.
literally had an Aetherling too, and I just pumped it.
I
I was
you
like,
just pump your Aetherling
Yep.
and swing.
yep. I'm like, win.
Win. That's a lucky draft. Jeez.
I actually that draft I drafted an Aetherling, first pick. Next, this was triple Dragon Maze, Plasm
Oh.
Capture the next pick, and then open another pack, get Plasm Capture, and then open another pack and get Plasm Capture.
Wow.
So, and then
That's
I got a Render
easy.
Silent out of that deal somehow too. So
Yeah.
I was like sitting there just going.
I love Render Silent.
Render Silent, I think, was by far one of the best cards that would just go right into a standard deck.
Mhm.
Really? Because I look at this, I'm thinking, why don't you just play a different counter spell that's cheaper?
But
Like,
because it
it's so
shuts
hard
you
to
down.
cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do agree with you, though. It's hard to cast because you actually have to have exacts. It's not like one island and then 2.
Yeah, it's not a splashable card
Yeah.
by any means. You have to be running, like, white-blue control.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to basically be running Azorius Control.
Yeah.
Which
Which is good.
yeah.
Have you read Azorius Charm? It's a really powerful card.
Yep.
I've heard. Like, it's worth having, so I mean, it's definitely good in those decks. If you see it limited, stay away. Do not take it.
Yes.
Right.
Just don't.
Reap Intellect, I have become a fan of over time. Because it's basically like Slaughter Games on crack. So, I mean, that's the best way I can describe it.
Okay.
I mean, you cast, so it's like, all right, yeah, it's a 4-drop, and then you have to X into it. But it's like, say you're, turn 8, and you know he's probably got like a Supreme Verdict in his hand. He's probably sitting on a Sphinx, and God knows something else. You're like, oh, I'm going to tap 7. So now you have 3 to go into his hand and go, oh, I'm going to exile everything out. And then you're like, oh, you have a Supreme. Well, let's exile all 4 of your Supremes out. Oh, you have a Sphinx. Let's exile all 4 of those out. And at that point, you've now taken his win condition and stomped on it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam. Have a good night, bud.
Later, bro.
The other one I kind of like, and I've been known to run a one-off in my standard deck, is Rurik Thar.
Okay. You don't just sideboard him?
No, he's a sideboard. He's a one-off
Oh,
sideboard.
okay. Yeah. All right. So
Because if you're running like an Esper Control or someone that's running some really heavy spell, he just kind of screws with them. The problem is, though, you better be running a lot of creatures, because if you start casting spells, you can kill yourself off.
That's why, hey, I have in my Jund deck, I'm not running any main deck, but I'm running 3 Young Wolf in the sideboard, this guy, and 2 Siren Insanity. So if I see, like, a control deck, I side those in, 2 Golgari Charms, and just take out all my less good removal, like Putrefy and Dreadbore in, and take out, like, Tragic Slip, and sadly Mizzy Mortars, just because when you're overloading it, you don't want to be, because you've got Rurik Thar out.
Right.
So, and then they're like, well, I can't do anything because I already used all my Syncopates and everything, and then you cast a Rurik Thar, and I've only got 2 creatures in my deck. And, they're just dead at that point.
Yeah, you're basically screwed. One of the cards that I actually really got to enjoy, and I do run him a lot, is the Tajik Blade of the Legion. I like him in a combo with Aurelia. Because she gives you that extra fight, or the extra attack turn. So he becomes a 12/12, indestructible.
Yeah.
12 indestructible.
Yeah, I actually, in game day for Dragon Maze, I ran him. I actually got my hands on him before, just as game day happened. And I was running him. And, everyone was pissed. Because I had him with Aurelia, and it was just like, poop on you, poop on you, poop on you.
Yep.
So, the new Troll Warrior Legendary, where everything has Scavenge, so Scavenge is back.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
The only combo I've actually seen that's really good with this is Varl's Vexing Devil. I can't actually think of another card with this. Like, it's all around good. But that's the best combo I can think of. It's really nice. I mean, 4/4 for 1 red is pretty sick. But looking at the rest of the cards here, none of them are, like, really aggressively costed creatures.
No, I mean, Voice was, of course, the biggest, we can't, I guess we could say mistake, because they, that's what they're calling it.
A little bit of a misplanned cost on it and stuff.
But the other one that I really kind of liked was that they brought back the split cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Far and away is like one of the best cards.
I was going to bring that up. Far and away. I don't know how that card's so good, and it's just its cost is very low for what it does.
Mm-hmm.
Far and away, and then the other one I really enjoy is Alive and Well.
Really, it's good in a token deck.
Exactly. What do you think I run?
Yeah, exactly.
And then,
Breaking's
of course,
pretty sweet.
Breaking is. I don't like the entering so much.
No.
But breaking is basically almost like a mind funnel, just 2 cards down. So 2 for 8 is. I'll take that over the. Mind Sculpt for 2 for 7. So.
Fair enough. Or you could just do it for 3 on the Jays.
We actually have a question. What do we think of Beck and Call? I honestly.
I have yet to see people run it.
Wait, which is this one? Because I've actually
Beck and
never
Call.
even considered
It's the one that whenever a creature enters the battlefield, this turn you may draw a card. That's Beck. And then Call is put 4 1/1 white bird creature bird creature tokens with flying onto the battlefield. And
So
it's
essentially-
2. It's 2 for the first one, Beck, and 6 for Call. So for me,
8 to do that is just so much.
to me, 8 is just a lot. When you could do a lot more with 8 and get good return.
Or you just like Sphinx Revelation, get life and a bunch of cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I like that better.
I think honestly 8 is a lot. But yeah, save your questions to the end, Tom. We're going to have a little question Q&A session at the end of every show. So, and then we can go over it. So if you guys hear the topics and you're like, hey, I think you're wrong there.
I gotta say, actually, Beck seems really good in a Simic deck where you're playing like Prime Speaker.
Oh, yeah. It's actually a good one card. Call will never... I don't think I'd ever play Call unless I just had a ton of mana out.
Yeah.
It is in banned colors, though. I'm trying to think of a situation where you'd want to do that and not just have more stuff like Geist of St. Trout. I can't think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I mean, the other ones, they're all okay. I mean, we can always talk about Cluestone Hell. I mean, if you're drafting, you got no see 3 or 4 or 8 Cluestones.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one-off, every now and again you're going to get a rare land. But other than that, I mean, I thought for sure we'd see some more lands out of it. Nah, not really. The other nice one that came out was the new Armadillo Cloak, basically.
Yeah, Unflinching Courage is really good.
Yeah, Unflinching Courage, well, enough said. It's basically Armadillo Cloak again.
I've won a draft off getting a Centaur, putting Unflinching Courage on it, and be like, okay, deal with my 5/5 trample lifelink.
Right.
And they're like, well, seeing as you're playing, like, Gruul plus, or with Naya is what I was doing there,
Yeah.
so I was like blood rushing creatures onto it. You can't ever deal with it.
No, because you're getting so much money back
yeah.
and
It
or
doesn't die
so much
either.
life back, and it just you'll kill them off before it ends. So then, I mean, like I said, there are some good cards, but as a deck as a whole, if you were to like draft it, I just feel it
I
falls
just want to
short.
say, we kind of skipped over Xava, who a lot of people undervalue or underrate at this point because Innistrad is still in circulation, but when Innistrad cycles out and all the aristocrats are gone, Xava's going to see a lot more play. Because she's just a good card. I run 2 in my Jund deck, and she does insane things. I mean, if First Strike 4/4...
And you
with
can
haste-
unleash, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a 3/3, and then you can unleash for 4/4.
Yeah.
It just does good things.
I'll give
I'm
you
never
that.
upset seeing her. I'm
I'll
like,
give
oh,
you that.
good, I have a good creature.
I do agree. I mean, why don't we just transition right into it? I mean, Innistrad's cycling out in October. We'll talk more as we get closer to that cycle date. But I mean, you're seeing, your Snapcasters go away, your Resto Angels, your big hitters that if anyone watches,
Christ, go
I mean, it's
away.
so much.
Grand Prix or anything.
It's dominating
like
the metagame so
Yeah.
much still. Like,
that. I mean, Liliana's gone, guys.
it's really gonna change things
Now
up. I'm
Liliana-
excited.
I actually, considering the creatures that are in Dragon Maze, I don't think that Liliana's as good anymore. The
Mhm.
thing that she was good at dealing with was Hexproof. I mean,
Yeah.
that wasn't it, but that was the real reason you wanted to run, 2 or 3 of Liliana in your decks that you could. At
I
least have
still
1 or
see
2
her
per
on a
side.
day. If I'm playing Standard at Paradise, God knows I'm seeing at least 1 or 2 decks with her still.
Oh, yeah. I see them all the time, too, man. They're everywhere.
All right, so might as well. You want to do the deck tech, and we can transition into an M14 little speed talk.
Sure.
That sounds good.
All right, so if you guys, you're gonna have to pull up the stream because you guys won't be able to see what I'm doing. So, might as well start out with the big guys, the one-offs, and you guys are gonna look at me and go, "What kind of deck is this?" Yes, you do see it on your screen, guys. There's an Angel of Serenity, Consuming Aberration, the Enraged Big Boy, and Giant Aphidage. Yes, those 4 cards all are played as a one-off main board. And I'll tell you why. Now, the deck name, I call it, is my Mad Scientist Reanimator. And if you guys aren't familiar with a Reanimator deck, in M14, when we start talking about it, you guys will slap yourselves on the back of the head and go, wow, that is a really good card. So, why you have Angel Serenity? Well, you basically lock down 3 creatures of whatever you want. And she's a flyer, and she's a beast. Enough said. Consuming Apparition. Well, what am I doing in this deck? In a Reanimator deck, you're mulching. You're getting rid of cards. So, he's going to get kind of big. And plus, with all the spells, if he's out early, he gets even bigger. The Enrager, well, he's just a big old trample dude.
An air condition, please.
So,
Yes.
and then the giant Ephedage, well, he clones himself. Don't you want a worm that clones himself and just they clone themselves, and it works really well. So, okay, let's go to the next one-offs. Scared Goliath. Yeah, another just giant 9/9 with trample. Lord of the Void. What can you say about him? He's big and he handles things. But then we get to 3-drop I play because I want a mana ramp. This deck I am calling, basically it's a green-black reanimator. So really I need Cryptghast. I need to mana ramp my swamps, because I'm very black heavy, if you guys will see. So Cryptghast, for every swamp I cast, it doubles it basically. So 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4. As you can see, I can get cards out a lot quicker with a Cryptghast or 2 out there. Yeah.
Also,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you see him in a draft and you are even thinking of playing Orzhov, he's the best card in the set.
Mm-hmm.
He's unbelievable, because when you're trying to extort stuff and you get all that mana, yeah, it's a good time, sir. It's a good time.
It is, and I run 3 of them. So great setup. And let's go to the next one. Some more dudes. This is the end of the creatures. So Desecration Demon, well, it's a 4-drop that can get so big and so retarded that it makes the other player have to think, do I keep sacking creatures and keeping that tapped and growing, or do I let the flyer come out and I just handle it with something? And then the reagent in there, she, well, what does she do? Every time you attack and get through, she adds a 1/1 counter to that creature. She is awesome. And then where I get the reanimator from is Troll. Lotleth Troll. If you guys have never heard of this card, it's a great card. So saying say I have some really big cards. I have like Angel's Serenity, Consuming Aberration, and a Lotleth Troll in my hand. I'll play the Troll and then go, oh, well, I'm going to sack Angel's Serenity to it. Oh, well, now it gets a +1/+1. Oh, I'm going to sack Consuming Aberration to it. Another 1/1. So each turn I'm sacking a creature, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And with a 1 mana regenerate with Trample, yeah.
It's good.
He's really
I
good.
run 4.
Yeah.
And they do awesome things.
he will be my main goer in this deck. But you're asking, well, where's the reanimate come from? Well, we'll get there. Mulch. I need some more mana ramp. How do I get mana ramp? You mulch your deck and you draw 4 cards and you go, oh, I got a land. Put that in my hand, put the other 4 in the graveyard. And you won't care if you mulch out a Angel of Serenity or anything like that. It's like, oh, I'll just bring it back later. Grisly Salvage, same thing. More mulching, more dropping cards out. And then Farseek, that's a card that I swap in and out. It's in the main deck right now. It might come out. I'm still debating if it's worthwhile with what I have already. So we'll see.
Do you really need it?
I run it right now. I don't know if
We don't even know if it's going to stay in for
Yeah,
M14 either. So it's
So
like,
I mean, if I'm seeing it's leaving, I might sub something out for it. So,
Fair.
but then here comes why I love this deck: Mind Rot. Well, you could be like, I can Mind Rot him. No, I'm gonna Mind Rot myself, and have to discard some bigger creatures. Easy to do. Doomblade's making a return in M14, guys.
I'm excited.
Oh yeah. If
Just
you guys
glad
aren't
it
familiar
wasn't
with Doomblade, it's a 2-drop instant that basically destroys any non-black creature.
Yep.
Yeah. Let that one sink in for a second.
Just have fun.
Yeah, just enjoy that.
It's
Then
not
the-
actually going to be as good as it was before, though, because of all the gold cards.
Yeah, the gold cards really do change it up, but it's still, for removal-wise, for this type
Oh.
of deck,
It's still going to be amazing, but
Yeah.
not as amazing.
I mean, if an Aetherling comes out on the field and they haven't made it indestructible, guess what?
Yeah.
Doomblade.
If you're playing an Aetherling without 8 mana up, you're doing it wrong, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if someone does that, Doomblade. And then the newest card, which has gotten me all hot and bothered, is Rise of the Dark Realms. This is what makes it possible. Basically, it makes Supreme Verdict cry. Say I have like a bunch of cards out, the Lotlif Troll, maybe a Giant Fadage or something like that, and then he goes, "Oh, Supreme Verdict," and he just dumps 4 of his cards into his creatures, and it dumps 4 of mine. I can be like, "Oh, Rise of the Dark Realms on my turn. Now I have your 4 and my 4 back, and anything that was in my graveyard," and you lose.
I feel like running 3 is a lot, though. That card's just really such a high cost.
It is, but with the Cryptghast and all the mana ramp I have,
That's true, yeah.
I could get him out by turn 5.
I can see where you're playing Farseek.
See, now it makes sense.
Now it makes sense. A little bit in your crazy mad
Now we go to the
scientist way.
sideboard. And you guys are going to look at me and go, what kind of sideboard is this? Grim Reborn, or Grim Return, I love. It's an instant. It's a new one in M14 too. Basically, a creature that has been gone off the battlefield this turn, I can bring back into my control.
So it's second Sunrise for creatures.
Yep,
Only.
basically. And it's a 3-drop. How awesome is that? Putrefy, because, well, removal is...
Putrefy so good.
Yeah. Again, Abrupt Decay. Enough said. More murder. Well, because if you don't murder anything, you might as well. And then everyone's going to look at me for that last one a little weird.
I
No,
like
I'm
it.
not.
Yeah.
I like it too.
Glaring Spotlight. It's not seen a lot, but with the onslaught lately of the hexproof decks,
They're scary.
they're
Yep.
scary, and you need something to deal with them. I can't murder a
Geist.
Geist, or I can't murder a Invis Stalker, or so I have to get rid of them. And if you know you got someone running a Geist deck, I'm putting both Glaring Spotlights in.
Yeah, as you should. It's a card that you either... Okay, Hexproof is like 2 ways of dealing with it. Either you have Mizium Mortars or stuff like that it doesn't target a creature, it just does it to all.
Mhm.
Or you have Glaring Spotlight. If you don't have either of those two, and you don't have... Well, I guess you can do Sacrifice as well, like Devour Flesh.
Yeah,
But I feel like that's not as good of a choice as like a Glaring Spotlight in your sideboard.
or Tragic Slip or something like that. So
Right.
Slip doesn't work, you have to target it.
Oh yeah, Slip doesn't work. Sorry.
Indestructible.
Yeah,
is
renounce the
Yes.
guilds and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
those sorts. Yeah. Those, yeah.
Devour Flesh.
Mm-hmm. So do we get to see your land breakdown as
You
well?
do. I'm getting there.
All right, just
And there's the land. 4 overgrown tombs, 4 woodland cemeteries, 4 Gagari gates, 5 swamps, and 5 forest.
So you're playing black and green completely evenly?
Yep.
Okay.
It actually works out pretty well.
good.
I've tested the drops because I go to MTG Deck Builder. I build it up and I then start testing it out where I'm seeing drops. What turn is this coming? When is this? And it really actually evened out pretty well. So 22 lands, yeah, it's a little skimpy for some people, but I think it works pretty well. And that would be that's the deck. So what do you guys think of the newest deck I have amensed?
It's weird. I kind of wish it was more removal main board, because you are really counting on that
The Rise.
giant... Yeah, the Rise. So maybe like a little less ramp, more Putrefy, because it's such a good card. But other than that...
You
I'm
might
good.
see it. Yeah, I mean, this
I'm
deck
exci-
won't be played until I'm 14.
Right.
But
What I like about it is that it's not playing money cards. These are all cards that someone who was like, I want to play Magic. You can go to a Magic shop and buy all these cards for like $100
Yeah.
or less.
or less.
Mhm.
Probably
you can
less.
eBay.
to be
You can
honest.
eBay it for less. I can tell you that.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Overgrown Tomb, you can get like 4 of them for $15 nowadays.
Yeah, those are gonna be expensive ones. The dual lands, Overgrown
Yeah.
Tomb, And Woodland Cemetery especially is actually more right now than Overgrown 2.
Well,
ever
you also
was
have to
for
remember
some reason.
Woodland Cemetery, if we don't get another reprint of something, is
Right.
gone in 6 months or less. So
Yeah.
It's like 4 months or something.
yeah,
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, like with Ravnica right now, we have the Shocklands, but if the next set has any amount of gold cards, they're gonna have to reprint more than just the on allied color
yeah,
dual lands.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think they can get by with just Rootbound Crag and Dragon Skull Summit, stuff like that. They might
Yeah.
need to reprint Woodland Cemetery, even though it historically it's not always been there.
yeah. I agree with you. So I mean, it really is just an interesting mix. I try to make my decks. I mean, yeah, if you look at my Naya deck I'm building, it's got voice in it. It's got retarded expensive cards in it, but it's also a deck I'm probably going to run main for a long time. You know,
True.
this deck I'll probably main for a while because it seems like just one of those fun decks. And
So, what are you most worried about then facing with this deck?
I'm kind of mirror matchup if someone's coming in.
I don't think anyone else plays that deck.
Oh, I can tell you no one else plays the deck. But, I mean, in a mirror matchup in the sense of someone's doing a scavenge deck, or
Right.
you're seeing, you know, something where, or even, I guess you could say a mill deck might hurt me a little bit because I depend on my own mulching
Right.
and not them getting rid of stuff on me. Because I need to get my land out. And if I don't get my land out, I kind of get screwed.
You're kind of stuck on Farseek. Where's the mill deck? You'd side out your mulch.
Yeah.
obviously. What would you side in versus a mill deck? Like just the removal?
Just the removal at that point.
Okay.
Basically in hopes that, you know, you can get rid of, you know, if they bring out, you know, like a consuming aberration or something stupid.
Or just
Yeah.
Jace you to death.
Yeah, or Jace you to death, then, you know,
This is a smartphone. It's very smart. This
why
is
am
a
I getting
tablet.
a commercial?
It's really bright. That's what technology does. It makes things
It's
yeah,
a good time. Commercial.
I got a commercial somehow. So sorry about that, guys. Always fun for the first show. But yeah, I mean, it not much actually scares me. At least maybe a blitz, like a red deck wins blitz, might hurt me.
Right.
I was gonna say, like, are you afraid of straight up aggro? Because it seems like
Aggro, not really, because I mean,
Like
I
those
can
blitz
side
decks.
in so much removal
right.
between Doomblade and Murder and
Yeah.
Abrupt Decay and Putrefy. I can dump anything. Like they could be like, "Oh, Medcap skill this guy," and I'm gonna start hitting you for 5 each turn. And then by turn 2, I can be like, "Doomblade that," and then they're basically screwed at that point. You know.
But you're gonna lose the first game versus that matchup.
Oh yeah,
Right.
you're losing
Yeah.
the first game, but I can at least adjust then.
Yeah. It's like playing John versus control deck. You're gonna
Yeah.
lose the first game. Unless he gets so mana screwed. And then you're like, yes, I took that first game versus a control deck. I didn't even side in my Urukdar or Sire. Feels so good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those. But I mean, in all reality, I think, yeah, that
I'm excited to have you start testing it at like F&M
Yeah.
and stuff and really get
Yeah,
to see how it flows and stuff like
Oh,
that.
it'll be. I'm actually thinking it might become my.
Main one to use for a while.
Yeah,
Mm.
it'll either be
This
that or
is-
the other two you're gonna hear about later on. So
This is where I wish that, like, I live closer to you guys. Because I don't have people to test decks with. Because
Right.
usually if I had someone, I would get cheap lands or whatever, turn them around and write what I want on it. I'd be like, okay, this is going to be Rise of the whatever,
yep.
and we're going to play this deck. Yeah, I know it's not out yet, but we're going to play right now. I can't do that.
Mm.
No one near me wants to do that. They're all just like, no, let's play EDH. I don't want to play EDH. It's fun, but I don't want to play
See,
that.
so in the perfect world, someday, Brandon, we'll all live within 5 minutes of each other.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
And
listen,
you know,
you guys are East Coast, right? Both
yeah,
of you?
we're all East
Yeah.
Coast.
Alright, so if I become an optometrist, or that's my plan, I have to go to school either Montreal or Toronto. And we'll be close enough. We'll meet up. We'll go play Magic. It'll be
That's
amazing.
fine with me.
We can play
Alright.
my key.
I have never played a cube yet. I'll have to
It's
admit.
like mine's not crazy good, but
No, not yet.
it's just
You got-
taking
You got
all the
you got
best cards that I have.
Jiki in there.
Yeah, I got Kiki-Jiki and Penumbra Spider, Kitchen Finks, and Red Cap. I've comboed a couple of those before. That's
We
really
got
Yeah.
some fun stuff in there.
Oh yeah, man, it's a fun cube. It's not. It's like Evan Irwin's cube is the one everybody measures us against. It's nowhere near that good, but I think it's still pretty fun.
So,
Click, Dotsies, good cards, man.
oh, Viniclick's just awesome. So, as we always say, this is about a 2-hour show. So let's jump into, well, the other fun deck coming out that we've been talking about here and there is M14. I figured for the next 2 to 3 weeks we'll be talking about it anyway.
A lot.
A lot. And there's been some new cards that just came out today.
Actually,
Spoiler.
I think before we do that, we should probably talk about Miami
Ooh.
because that's still in Dragon Maze.
Yep.
You're right.
We have a GP Miami coming up, right?
Yeah, GP Miami. It's going to be it's standard. So Innistrad, M13, and Return to Ravnica blocks.
Yep.
It's going to be pretty cool.
I can't wait to
think-
see what comes out on top deck-wise.
Oh, exactly. I want to know what the most influential card, like the new one's going to be. I think, like, Angel of Serenity is really good. Obviously, I mean, we're not going to count on Voice of Resurgence because obviously it's just the best card in this set.
Someone's gonna. I think honestly, you're gonna see like a Naya Tokens, Naya Blitz.
I
Naya
think
something's
Greg
gonna come
Westcott
out
has already made that deck, and he's going to go kill people with it.
because he's basically gonna be like voice into Advent into
No,
boom,
man.
you're dead.
Okay, I guess I should say he's going to play a lot of voice. He's going to play Civic Saber, and probably Call the Conclave are the only cards from Return to Ravnica. Just because, I mean, the white weenie cards that have been printed lately, a lot of them are pretty good, and that's all he really plays. So those cards I really expect to see, and a lot of like Champion of the Parish.
The other thing I
And-
expect to see a lot of, because it's been getting a lot more attention, is Geist lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I expect to see someone to come in with a very damn good Geist deck.
Oh yeah. There's going
I
to
mean,
be
there's
bad decks, bro.
Yeah, it's like there's been a lot of Bant decks that have started to rise up in the ranks
Yeah.
at the last couple of tournaments, and they're so annoying to play against.
Yeah.
I mean, I've considered going and getting a Glaring Spotlight, even though I already run 4 Mizium Mortars main deck. That's how good those are. Just
Yeah.
because if they,
I just picked some up recently because
Oh,
my
yeah.
youngest brother runs a Bant hexproof, so
yeah,
just-
like if I could afford it, I'd probably run one too. But I can't really afford 4 Geist of St. Traft. That's expensive.
Yeah, it's
Like,
at least
fees.
$100 right there.
Yep, probably more. But yeah, those are gonna be really, really big. But like, especially with Armadillo Cloak reprinted, we're
Yeah.
gonna call it that. Like that card fits into Bant Hexproof so well
yes.
because essentially all your creatures are trampling through. Like if you put this on a Geist, it's a 4/4 lifelink Hexproof creature that summons an Angel, which you could potentially populate if you really wanted to at instant speed. Like if you have Eyes in the Skies, you just populate your Angel. It stays, by the way. It's just so good. Why would they reprint that card now? Is what I'm thinking. You just don't do this. No.
I agree with you. But I mean, so GP Miami is what, next week?
It's this weekend, isn't it?
Is it
Yeah,
this weekend?
it starts.
Tomorrow.
Mhm.
So I guess I know what I'll be
What
watching.
they've got
tomorrow.
going on?
Yeah, I have the leg tournament to cast, but that's totally going to be on the side, and I'm just going to randomly talk about what's happening on GP.
Yeah, I'll be.
It's going to be happening.
It's me and Little Man Day, so I think me
Oh,
and Little Man will be watching a lot of GP.
little young Magic player in the making.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
He is.
So, back on topic,
Yeah.
the most influential card I feel is going to be Gorkland Rampager or Angel of Serenity.
I think honestly you're gonna see a lot of Angel Serenity.
Oh yeah,
'Cause she's been growing and just growing.
Junk
and-
Reanimator plays 4 main deck.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just so stupid good. It's like, oh, I'm gonna reanimate her in. I'm gonna grab your voice. I'm gonna grab your Advent card. Thank you.
Thanks.
And now you have just cleared the
Oh.
board, and I'll swing in with 5.
Or he's going to mulch his Thragtusk and just play it of the Angel. And
Yeah.
since you've got so many Angels, you have to, like, this is something Pat and I were talking about when we were talking about my Jund deck. Is the strength of Angel of Serenity and how it recasts itself.
Yeah.
Because as soon as it goes to the graveyard, you can just play another Angel of Serenity and pull it back out. And you can even get to a position where you're like, okay, I just throw my angels away for nothing because I don't care. I'll just replay them again.
Yep.
That's what makes that card so good.
Yes.
And you have to get to the point, especially in a Jund deck, is what I was thinking of this from, where you side in Pillar of Flame just so that you can exile the angel and they can't bring it back. Because it's absurd. It's just so good.
It's
Yeah, I
true
love
story.
Pillar of Flame, and I'm glad we're seeing at least some people start to use it a little bit more. But
Well,
especially like voice and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just get rid of it.
voice.
Boom.
That's a really good versus voice. Sorcery speed anyway. Like you're never playing removal at instant speed versus voice. If you do this, you're doing it wrong, which is why Dreadbore's actually just gotten better since.
Oh, Dreadbore just keeps
Yeah.
getting better. So it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, you have a voice out, Dreadbore.
Like, yeah, okay, you get a token, but seeing as it's sorcery speed anyway, and it deals with planeswalkers, which is super important, and especially like a Pro Tour format where everyone's got all the money they could possibly ever need to buy cards.
My
They're like,
question
yeah,
is,
sure,
are we going to see a
pour the
rise of
mana.
death rights again? Is someone going to be putting death rights into the mix? Because if you've noticed the last few Pro Tours, death rights
Yeah.
been a lot less prevalent.
It's I don't know. It's just really good though.
It is, yeah.
I played one today in a draft, and that was one of the only cards that performed well. It just like consistently.
It's
either
a one-drop
make you-
planeswalker, or it's a two-drop planeswalker. Come
Yeah,
on.
that's actually a really good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Like especially if you're playing mulch, you can
Yeah.
mana fix yourself with that. Just because you exile lands from your own graveyard, and you're like, all right, I want blue or whatever. It's just so good.
Yep. Death rights are just really good cards, and to me, I don't know why we're seeing less of them. Maybe it's because we've had Gatecrash come out, and there's been some really great cards in Gatecrash, and then Dragon Maze came out. There's been some good cards in Dragon Maze, and they all are kind of synergizing a lot better than So that's why I'm really interested to see what we're going to see this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think, yeah, I feel like Death Red Shaman should be played more than it is. That's what
I
I'm
agree with you. I
Yeah.
definitely agree with you. So
Agree.
now that
Man, is that something we're kind of unanimous on? Death Red Shaman should be played more than it is.
Yes,
Yes.
I agree.
all right, so let's go into M14 because we got about 20 minutes before we start taking questions and talking to
Sure.
people.
Mhm.
M14. I'm calling this the Return of the Slivers.
Yeah, this is the first time they've been reprinted in a core
I'm
set.
sad
Yep.
though. Like the artwork just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
I understand.
It makes me angry, like actively angry, because I ran a Slivers EDH deck,
Did
the
you?
Sliver Overlord, and I was like, this is the best deck ever. And then I look at these new Slivers, I'm like, I'm not remaking
These
that
aren't
deck.
slivers. What is this? Yeah.
These are just humanoid things. Why,
Mhm.
wizards? Why?
Anyways, what I felt like is probably should go over what mythics they've brought out so far
Mm.
this week, because there's a lot that they've been doing. So, and Johnny has come back out, same card as last time,
Yep.
no difference. Archangel of Thune, in white, I've actually kind of like. I
Mhm.
don't know how I feel yet. I guess I got to see it played.
I mean, you could still, combo it very easily with extort.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you gain life, put a +1 counter on it. So just boom,
Like
boom,
with
boom.
Syndicate Tides, which is
Yeah.
Mhm.
absurdly good. Like you can just run that in a mono white deck with this guy out.
Yeah.
You'll feel fine.
One of the ones that I'm really kind of like I bought because it made my eyebrow kind of raise was Devote Invocation.
Mm.
It's a sorcery, but it says tap any number of untapped creatures you control, and then put a 4/4 white angel token with flying onto the battlefield for each tapped this way. So if you have like 6 creatures out and they've not done anything yet, and you play that, you could literally be sitting on top of 6 1 or 4/4
Is
angels.
Is this in your Naya token deck?
Possibly.
Is this possibly happening?
It-
I don't actually like this card, and I'll let you know why.
Okay.
In a moment. To me, white is more aggressive.
Mm.
Like, if you're playing white, you should probably be playing white weenies. And this card is just, it costs too much.
Oh,
when
it's
you're playing
huge.
white weenie deck. Yeah, when you're playing white weenie deck, you want to play like 19, 20 lands.
Yeah.
Because once you get 4 out, you're like, okay, I can play any creature in my deck.
Yep.
I feel good about that. You just keep playing stuff, keep playing stuff, keep playing stuff. So I'd almost rather have something like card draw focused, but
I guess, I'll give you that. But I kind of like it for the what I'm currently envisioning in my head.
yeah, okay. I like it if you have like 10 creatures on. You're like, alright,
Yeah.
10 angels, lol.
Jace is back again, so another. Yep, Jace has been reprinted finally, so we're happy there.
Keep up the mill.
I
And
don't actually like this Jace. Like,
You don't like the mill 10?
I don't like Jace in general. The last Jace I actually liked was Jace Ballerin.
okay,
I thought that,
I don't
like,
know.
obviously, Architect of Thought was broken. Memory Adam. I've lost silly games to Memory Adam, so I don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
so then we have Wind Reader. It's actually Sphinx. It's a new Sphinx.
Not that impressed.
No,
So,
Like,
I think it's just a card to fill what they have.
yeah.
Liliana's a reprint,
Mhm.
so I don't see a reason to run her. It is what it is. Rise of the Dark Realms, we've already talked about that. I love that card. It takes the place of Army of Darkness to me, because Army would bring out 13 1/1 or 2/2 zombie tokens. This one lets me bring out giant creatures that will stomp your face.
That's always
So,
fun.
I like that. Shadowborn Demon. Now that one I've actually kind of liked. I'm not a big fan. I'm not like go out and buy it. I want it. But for a 5-drop, destroys a non-demon creature, but then you have to start sacking creatures if you don't have 6 creatures in your graveyard. So it kind of takes my Reanimator and goes right on top of it. So it's good, but not great.
The downside, I'm trying to think, like, what deck would you play this in?
That was my problem. I haven't found a deck I'd actually sit it in yet.
Because you wouldn't play it in any kind of mill deck. Like, a black-blue deck, this just doesn't work.
Right.
Like, mono black, but then it's not even that good there. Because
No.
you're killing your own stuff, which is not what mono black is all about. Mono black is about killing your opponent's stuff with Doomblade.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
this seems like a casual card. Like, pros aren't going to play it.
Yeah,
It
it's not a
sounds
pro
fun,
card.
though. No. Would I take it in draft? Fuck yes.
Oh yeah.
This card would be crazy. If you
Now-
see this in a draft, just take it.
Now the card that I got excited for in the red. Yes, Shock's back. Whatever. We'll talk about Shock later.
But you're not excited about Shock?
Oh, I'm stupid excited about Shock, but
Everyone's excited about that.
but is the Scourge of Valkis. The new dragon. It's a 5-drop, but it basically takes any dragon you cast and deals X damage, where the number of dragons, X is the number of dragons you control.
So it turns every single dragon into a.
Yeah.
What's that shaman that was reprinted?
Yep.
Thundercloud Shaman.
Yep.
That's kind of good. And it's
Yeah.
also got fire breathing.
Yeah. So it basically just makes your
Oh.
deck, in red deck wins, a giant I'm gonna burn you to death deck.
Look right under it. Look at what they just reprinted. Shivan Dragon! Woo!
I was gonna go over that next week. But yes, there's enough dragons out there that you could do very well with red deck wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can
and
also play Partic Dragon, try to suspend it.
I'm actually half tempted to play Slumbering Dragon with it for a little while.
I was actually thinking of that. Because it just does 5 damage. Like, every time it comes in, it's going to deal damage.
Yep.
Anyway, so it's like a removal spell that eventually becomes an 8/8.
Yep. So, I mean, that's just me. So, I thought about that. We'll go down to the greens. The new Garrett, guys.
He's good.
Oh. Shall we talk about him for a minute? I think we should actually take a good minute or two and talk about him.
I think we should. And I wish I'd talked to you about this before, because we could get 2 cards and just put them on the screen, and you'd understand why he's so good.
Well, I mean, why is he so good?
Okay, so there's this card, Commune with Nature. It's also a little bit of play, not a crazy amount, but essentially what it does is exactly this. It looks at the top 5 cards of your library, pulls a creature card. When you're in mono green, that's the thing you want. You're like, oh, I can get more creatures? Yes, I will take that, thank you. Like, I can go find my giant spider is something that I'm looking at here, which, by the way, is an exceptionally good card as well. So you can just find that whenever you want. Or you can find your huge-ass fatty, which is like a 9-drop.
Yep.
And use his next ability to play it for free.
Yep. I
It's
mean,
good.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at him and going, I need 4 of him, and I need to come up with a mono green deck.
Yeah,
Because
I want to build a mono green deck. I mean, Giant Growth reprinted too.
yeah, Giant Growth reprinted. I
What?
mean,
Oh, I didn't even notice that
Yeah.
before. I'm happy Fog is reprinted. Can I throw
Yeah.
that out
oh
there?
yeah, I mean, there's been some really nice reprints. But sadly, no Thragtusk yet has been announced.
I'm gonna say we're not gonna see it.
I'm
I
actually
don't
I'm with
think
you,
we
Nan Man. I don't think we're gonna see it.
I don't think
But-
we will. I want to so bad though, because I can just think of mono green with Garrett, Color Beast, and Thragtusk,
Oh my god.
and I
that
can just
was-
think of all the tiers of everyone.
Yeah.
Because you can play him and just play 4 Thragtusks for free at some point, and you're like, eh. Thank
There's
you.
my 20 life back, thanks.
Yeah. Lol.
But I mean, I really feel like I want 4 of him, and just go like I'm gonna. My new decks I'm planning on is that green black deck. My new reanimator. I was gonna do a red deck wins with dragons, because well, why wouldn't you at this point? Because there's another card we'll talk about next week that just makes that deck just stupid good.
It's Dragonstorm.
No, it's not. I
That would
wish.
actually work really well though.
Yes.
Like-
So I mean, and then of course you give Garrick something else that comes out, and it's Primeval Bounty. You guys have
Yeah.
not seen that. This card is just
I actually
As-
haven't.
as an enchantment. Oh. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a 3/3 beast token onto the battlefield. Okay, mono green Garrick, 3/3 token. Awesome. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put 3/1/1 counters on target creature you control.
That's
Whenever
like having a
wait,
second Garrick.
wait,
There's even
Wait.
more.
whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, gain 3 life.
So it's like having a second Garrick just sitting beside your first Garrick.
Yes, and
It's
for
just like nearly just as good.
and for 6, yeah, you can claim he's expensive. For 6, I'm sitting there going, creature out of Garrick. Oh, there's another creature now with my token.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna cast Giant Growth. Oh, now I get 3/1 counters on that, and I just played a land.
Well, if you'd like to realize why it's actually really good, you could look up 1 and left 1, and you'll see, oh yeah, green is the ramp color.
Yes.
So it's not going to be a problem to cast a 6.
I know I said I was only going to talk Mythics only, but I have to bring up the card since we're in greens.
Okay.
The reprint of Scavenging Ooze is back.
hmm
All right.
Everyone is super excited because that's like a $40 card as is. I myself, it's a good card. I don't consider it the best card.
Really?
I consider Deathrite better than that.
I don't. I'll explain why.
Okay.
I suppose. Okay, so Deathrite Shaman's really good. It fixes you.
Yep.
It exiles creatures and you gain life. Scavenging Ooze, you do the same thing pretty much. You get rid of creatures and gain life.
Yep.
But it's also a bear cost, which is only 1 more, but it's like you pretty much play bear with the biggest upside I've ever seen on a creature costed for this.
I'll give
like-
you that.
Just putting free counters and getting life for a green, and you can just exile your opponent's stuff. The only thing I don't like about it is in mono green you don't have a lot of removal, so it's going to be hard to get creatures into the graveyard. But if you're trading really aggressively,
Yeah.
it seems good.
I agree with you on that. So we'll go down to Artifact. They put in Ring of 3 Wishes. Not a huge fan.
Yeah.
I think it's just a filler card. And other than that, that is your mythics that they've announced so far.
Yeah.
We'll go over next week. We'll go over your rares. There's a
Wait.
lot of them.
I want to do one. today.
What rare do you want to do?
It's a land.
Are you talking
It's-
about the reprinted Mutavault?
Yeah, this card is ridiculous good. Like it for one, why? I don't get it. This land is also a creature.
Yep.
That's all you have to say, and then they're like, yes, I want it. This is like a key rune, but it's cheap. Well, it's actually free, I should say.
It's
It doesn't
free.
even come in tapped. So
No.
you can just like tap it for mana right away, and next turn you've got a 2/2 you're attacking with. They're like, what? It's turn 2. You what? No. That's the reaction you're gonna get.
Turn 1, you play Mutavault. Turn 2,
Yeah.
attack for 2. Play another Mutavault. Attack for 2 more. Turn 3, attack for 4.
Yep. If
God.
no, Shimmering Grotto as well. Anyway, yeah, no, it's stupid good. It's like $40 before it was reprinted.
And it's still $30 or $40.
Yeah, it'll go up though.
Yeah.
You can bet your ass.
So, I mean, yeah, we can say Mutavault's really good. So we're at time. We can start taking some questions if there's anyone in chat that wants to talk. If not, I have something special set up because we do everything. We talk about everything Magic. This show is anything new out there, anything old. Modern Masters just came out, so we all play a little Modern. We do know.
I never got a chance to open a single Modern Mastering pack.
Oh, I have, and I got a Vidillion click.
Well, like
Nice.
I debated about doing it online, but I haven't, just because
My buddy pulled a Goyf. That's all I gotta say.
Oh,
I remember that story. The one guy who said he pulled 3 Goyfs.
yeah.
That was not true. He only pulled 2. One was still foiled though, so I'm pretty sure he was a happy guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my buddy pulled the
Shit.
foil Goyf. I was drafting that night. I couldn't get into Modern Masters because it had already been filled, signed up. He
Right.
sits down, first pack,
Ugh.
looks at the back, and there's foil Goyf sitting there.
What's your reaction when you see that? I personally, this is what I would do. I'd pull it out and be like, "Oh hey guys, by the way," and I just put it on the table. Be like, "Thank you. I can just leave now, and I've already paid for this draft." Like,
It's a
200.
$300 card.
Yeah.
Oh, it's more than that.
Or no, it's like 500, isn't it, or something
Yeah.
stupid? Yeah. It's like a $500 card.
Yeah.
I would have been like, I'll trade it in, and I just want 4 boxes of Magic.
Yeah. They'd have been like, okay. Just,
Yeah.
I mean, they're never gonna sell it. Like, if as a store, you don't take foils. I'm sure you know this because
Yeah.
you work in the store. But
Yep.
from the ones I've talked to, they're like, yeah, we never take foils. But I think, would you guys take a foil Goyf just to be like, put it on display and be like, we have a foil Goyf?
Actually, you know what? Our store might, depending if he actually went cheap enough.
Right.
Like
Um,
the store that I'm at, like we actually do get a decent amount of foils of some of the more common ones.
Yeah, we get
That,
we
like, you
actually
know,
do a
but
lot. We had like Tajiks,
those go
we've
out
had
so
Advent
quickly.
of the Worm.
Mhm.
A lot of those sell
Yeah.
really quick when people are trying to foil out decks.
Right.
I'm talking about big cards like Aetherling. Like, no, they don't
Right,
take it. 'cause
yeah,
it's
that's
like a
not-
$100 card.
Yeah.
No one's
it's
gonna
not-
buy it. They could just buy the $10 version.
How much is foil Aetherlings now?
I don't know. That was just a random number.
Okay. So let's
No,
say
I've
it's-
seen them for $30 though.
Yeah. No, I mean we do take a good amount of foils. We take a lot of lands though, because lands sell.
Really?
Yeah.
I still need to get the rest of the foils for my gates because I'm slacking for my Maze End deck.
See, I have some foils for you. People give them to me, and I'm like, all right, I'll take them, because I put them in my cube. Like, someone has a foil land. All my friends are like, I got a foil land. You want it? Because it'll start in there. I'm like, yeah, sure. So like, probably 3/4 of my swamps are foil, and I've got 50 in there. Like, are those worth money? Because I would trade them in an instant for anything. I don't care. Like, oh look, my land is shiny.
Well, do we have any questions in chat? Any?
That's a good question.
So I need 8 more gates that are foils. I'm missing
No, it
8.
looks like chat's gonna be quiet. So why don't we do a little special? Shall we
I
say?
like it.
I will.
Uh,
You guys gotta watch stream for this, because
Yeah.
we're gonna do a mock draft. If you guys never seen this site, draft.
Should
Dot.
do Modern Masters.
No, I was gonna do Dragon Maze this time.
Okay, fine. The block, right?
The block,
Okay.
RTR block. So we'll talk about it, and so we're loading up right now, and I am looking at an interesting hand of cards.
I know what I would take.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about. What would you take?
From this first look, probably Punish the Enemy.
Okay.
And people are gonna be like, why? Oh wait, what's the rare here? Power Wall Shaman?
He's not bad. I'm actually looking at the Flux Charger, honestly.
That's what I was looking
Really?
at too. Yeah.
Okay.
But then again, I don't have as much draft experience as you do, so.
I like Flux Charger because with Izzet, you kind of get a little flexibility. The Scarab Giant, maybe.
But yeah, I mean,
might be-
the punish the enemy is good too because you're not as limiting yourself right off the bat.
Yeah. Scab Clan Giant is good. If you find that you really enjoy Gruul, then you can take that. But the reason I like Punish the Enemy is exactly what Ant-Man said. It leaves you so open, and especially the 2 packs, or the 2 colors that you really want to draft.
So let's
Are-
go
are
with Punish
black-
the Enemy then.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. That
All right.
sounds good.
So we draft Punish the Enemy, and
Yeah.
there we go. Look at this. We have a Beck and Call. Nothing we really need.
Second Punish the Enemy.
Possibly it might be a second Punish the Enemy. I'm looking at the Gruul Guildgate, possibly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because that might help you out. Because you might go green at this point. Green's a very common binder, and then maybe a little white if you're gonna dabble in 3 color.
Right.
For
Um,
Anaya.
See,
I'm stuck between Punish the Enemy and the Guildgate at this point.
I used to draft gates really highly. And I still do it every once in a while if I see like nothing in a pack. But if you want to go Gruul, you can cut the gate, and people are like, alright, there's no Gruul gate. But there's this Punish the Enemy, which any Gruul player who is sane really, really wants, because it's awesome.
So let's go with the second Punish the Enemy then.
Sure.
Sounds good. Since it's pack 2, why not?
Yep,
Yeah.
pack 2, might as well do it. So then we go start looking down. I like the Rumble Belt here. That one
Rumble
kind of,
Blanca?
yeah.
Okay. I like that too. Armed and Dangerous is really good though. And
Armed and Dangerous
Tide
if you're gonna.
Drinker,
Well, Tide Drinker is great, but you're kind of to get red into that. It's a little
Yeah.
weird.
So yeah, I completely agree. At this point, one of the biggest strategies for drafting block right now is just to cut a guild.
Yep.
And cutting Armed and Dangerous here is a really big signal to the player to your left. They're like, okay, this is the first red card I've seen being Rumble Maka. We don't count Smelt Ward Gatekeeper because it's awful. So Armed and Dangerous is fine to cut. It really does send that signal, which is good.
So would you go Rumble Belt or would you go Armed?
I don't know. I love both those cards. Like they're just both so good.
Well, let's
Probably
go with,
Armed and Dangerous.
let's go with Armed and Dangerous because we're gonna go Gruul. We pretty
Right.
much decided we're going Gruul at this point.
Yeah, because it seems really open to our right. And then
Yep.
if we cut to our left, they're going to give us all those cards.
You got it. So I'm looking at this. The Feral Animal.
That's a bad card.
It's a bad card. There's
The
a
wheel.
Clue Stone. I'm kind of liking the Boros Guildgate because you might want to sprinkle white. at
Yeah,
some
that's an
point.
option. I mean, the Clue Stone is probably going to wheel. What do you think, Ant-Man?
I don't know, like this. Yeah, that's what's. Things are starting to thin out in this. I wouldn't mind picking the gate because as it's narrowing down, I'm always a big fan of picking up gates in this block when drafting.
Yeah.
I just
Sure.
like.
So let's
gates
go with the
personally,
gate because maybe we'll sprinkle some white because I mean you got the Steeple Rock. Maybe we'll come back around.
right.
You know, white is a very valid color, and look at that. There's another Keystone right there, and because that is about all I see in this pack.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing
Yeah.
else worth taking here.
So we're gonna go with the Keystone right there.
Yeah. I like the Guildgate there, too. It keeps you open, which is always good.
It keeps you very open. So now I'm looking at this pack. I see one of my favorite cards, Ceruli Gatekeeper.
Cerulean Gatekeeper?
Yes.
Okay, I was like, what's your favorite card in here?
I would go
Um,
with the Ceruli Gatekeeper on
It's
this.
good. The thing about this is picking a Gatekeeper right now really says, I want gates, I need gates. If I don't get gates, this card's worthless.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to splash white, the Snare Squad is not bad. It's actually a solid card. Picking it right now seems kind of scary. We have seen a lot of gates, though. So I think the Gatekeeper's probably
I think the
safe.
Gatekeeper's a good
Yeah.
call.
Yeah,
Either
I
one is
like that.
And look at that. There's the Gruul Gate right there.
nice. So why don't we just windmill slam that?
Yeah,
As
we're just going to take the
Spider-Verse-
Gruul Gate right there, and
Perfect.
we're good to go. So now we have that. Now we're looking at this, and I'm not
Ugh.
seeing a ton here
Yeah.
No.
that screams draft me, draft me.
I've seen
Maybe,
Gate would be okay.
maybe the Wake.
No. The thing about Wake is you could take Wake or you could take something like Woodlock Crawler.
Yeah.
Which you're not going to play either of them. I'll tell you
Right,
right now.
exactly.
Let's
But-
let's get rid of Woodlock because you just want to make
Yeah.
sure he's not sitting
That's
against
fair.
you.
We are playing red here.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to take. Like the Demirgo Gate if you want to
Yeah.
play Gatekeepers, but neither, it's not on color. So pretty bad there.
Other than this one, yet again, Fido Burst,
Yeah.
or you could get with with the Sunspire.
Like, I don't mind Rakdos Skill Gate right now, just because it is on one color, and at some point we maybe splash black.
Mm-hmm. So you're
That-
not
that would be my-
you're not liking the other gatekeeper
If you
since
pick
we already
gates,
have because
Yeah.
didn't we get the other?
really,
Yeah, we got
Gate
two
Boros
gates right
already?
now. We got two gates, so we got Boros and we've got Gruul. So
I like picking gates higher than gatekeepers because
Okay.
if you take all the gates out, then they're gonna be like, well, there's no point in picking gates or gatekeepers.
Right,
I don't have
right.
gates.
so let's
It
take
helps
the
the
gate.
people.
I take the gate.
Sure.
Yeah, I like
So
it.
now we're looking at this. I would actually go with Clear Path on this one.
I agree.
It's a 1-drop. It's a sorcery. You're gonna see a defender probably.
You leave it in your sideboard.
Yeah, you sideboard it in and you can dump them out.
Yep.
All right, so now we're looking at this one. You got 5 picks left. I would just do a Gatekeeper just because that's about the only thing that I see plays.
I wouldn't, because Smeltmore Gatekeeper is one of the worst cards in the set. I
So
would
if
rather
you-
take the 2-drop and not play it.
Which one? The
Bane LA Black card.
okay. All right, so
That's what I think.
I'll go with you on that one.
It's
all
just Smeltmore Gatekeeper is so bad.
So again, we're looking at some interesting cards for last. We have a Gleam of the Battle still out there.
Meh.
Meh. All of the guilds.
Meh.
Simic Guild Gate, not in our Simic
No,
Clue
you
Stone.
need the stone here. I think clear the path again.
Clear the path again.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. 2 Clue Stones and a Protect and Serve.
You're not playing either of the Clue Stones, so take the Protect and Serve, just so no one can use it against you.
Exactly. And now you're looking at this one. You got Morg
Yeah.
Burst and an Armored Wolf Rider.
I like more Burst.
Let's get rid of that out of there, and then you're getting bread for the hunt last. So now we look at what we've drafted. We did pretty well. Not great, but pretty well.
I
We need
think this is fine. For Dragon Maze?
for Dragon Maze,
Yeah.
that was good. Now we
Yeah.
have to start getting some creatures. So let's
Yeah.
move on to the next booster.
What I like that we've done is
And
we've had a lot of red.
oh boy, look
yeah, we
at
did
that
get a lot of
pack.
that time.
Now that pack is a
Uh-huh.
beautiful pack to me.
Yeah. Makes me wish we were playing Simic, because that Clifford Raptor
Oh yeah, I saw the
Ah,
coffin, but
yells out to me.
you do have a Daring Skyjack there,
Yep.
and I think that is the biggest one I would probably go after. That or Bomber
Well-
Corp, I'd go.
Yeah. I don't like Bomber Port this early. It's a common, so you're probably going to
Yeah.
see another one. And picking this
Right.
early just isn't worth it. I think Skullcrack is better. I think Skullcrack is probably the second best card in the pack.
All right, let's go Skullcrack then.
Maybe third. Kingpin's Pet and Gift of Orzhova are probably... Or, okay,
If we
it's
were going
fourth,
all
it's Black
Orzhov,
Raptor.
I would have gone with Kingspin Pet now
Oh, yeah.
second.
Yeah.
Windmill, that guy. It's a great card.
Ooh, look at the True Fire Paladin right there. I kind of like True Fire. That or there's a Gruul Gate down there.
I like sticking to 2 colors. Like, it's so tempting to take a True Fire Paladin here. And if it was the later, like, Fortress Cyclops, I'd be more open to taking, just because it's later in the game.
Mm-hmm.
If your first hand is the True Fire Paladin, and you're like, oh, I really want to cast this, so you keep it, but then you never hit a white source,
Right.
it's just gonna sit in your hand and do nothing. When if you just took like Scorchwalker, at least if you see that, you can play it, and it's a fine Blood Rush card.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
So that would be my pick. I mean, Tripwire Paladin's an option though, for sure. It's
The other one is the Warmind Infantry. I actually like because of the battalion trigger.
Yeah, that's a fine card as well.
Let's
It
go
is
with the
quite good.
Warmind because I actually like him for the battalion.
Sounds good.
So we'll go with him. Ooh, there's a Gruul Charm, but that I see in the bottom corner. Zertos Swine.
Yep. This
I-
card, so good.
3 for a 5/4 Blood Rush.
Or you just play a Fatty for 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's so versatile. This is probably the second best Blood Rush card in my mind.
Yeah, besides
right behind Blind Rampoacher,
Yeah.
which is
Mhm.
fantastic.
the computer left a breeding pool sitting there.
Yeah, we're not gonna take it then.
No,
'cause
we're
we're
not
not money drafting.
We're not money drafting, we're drafting to win right now, and the card I see that I would end up taking is either the Foundry Street Denizen or the Sky Knight Legionnaire, because I might dabble in a little white. Just
You
to
don't
get her
like
up.
Ruination War?
You keep leaning towards it.
What is that?
Yeah,
you keep
you really do
leaning
like
towards
white.
it.
I generally run 3-color, guys, you know that.
Yeah.
so.
Really?
Yeah.
See, the thing I don't like about 3-color decks is they're so inconsistent. Like, you might just get
Yeah.
bans at some point.
No, that's
Be
exactly.
sick. What I would take in this pack is the Ruination Worm, because they don't have a lot of crazy high drops. You
Mhm.
know, our
Okay.
most
You know what?
expensive
If
thing-
you want to do it, I will go with you, because I've actually
Sure.
drafted 2 Ruination Worms before, so...
Oh, they play really well in draft. Just a 7/6.
Oh, look at that! There's a second one!
Big old fatty. I don't know if we need 2. Is there anything else in this pack? No.
Not really. The Denizen,
really.
maybe?
It's the worst Denizen, probably. Red just gets bad for the stuff that everyone else gets as well. Like, the Gatekeeper and Denizen are just awful.
Mhm.
That's about it, though. I might actually take a second Ruination Worm just to sideboard
Yeah.
around.
It's that or Massive Raid, I hate to say. Because in a Gruul deck, Massive Raid isn't that bad.
Ooh, there is a Vertenhaven sitting here.
It's a good one.
I actually
Yeah,
like that.
especially
Hmm.
if we're looking to get to Ruination Worm, and it helps splash so much.
Right.
So let's go with Vertenhaven.
I agree.
Solid pick there.
Mhm.
Now, ain't this an interesting set of events? I like the Goblin.
I agree.
Goblin good.
And I'm sure, I mean, if you're sitting there saying, "Oh, Massive Raid, you know, get some removal," it'll probably wheel. Oh wow, really?
Another
Zertos
yeah,
good?
yeah. Pick 8.
What?
Another swine. Yeah,
feel
man,
good
you'd
about-
agree with that one, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I'm surprised that's still in. Like,
Yeah,
And
I
as
hate-
people
I
would
hate
see, there you go. There's Massive Raid right there.
yeah. The question is it even worth taking at this point? Because Dimir Charm could, I mean, it's just so versatile. And Kingpin's Pet being, I mean, tabling a Kingpin's Pet says no one's
Yeah,
on
I'm just
Zorthop,
taking
so
a
we're
king.
good with
I'm
that.
just taking
Right.
Kingspin Pet. Just give them the finger, and say you're not going to play it because.
Right. Oh wow.
And there's the Guild Gate. We need a Guild Gate. Another Guild Gate. Gruul Guild Gate
That's-
it is.
Excellent. Picking one-color Gruul Gates.
And Gruul Charm or Pit Fight. You take your pick here.
Gruul Charm?
I kind of
yeah, I
like
was
the
liking
Gruul
the charm.
It's more versatile. It's
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'd main board it.
Wow.
There's a flyer deck. It's just so good.
Is no
Mhm.
one in this? No one's drafting Demir.
It's the charm, right? It's
I
not
would. I'd
contaminated
just
ground.
get rid of the charm at this point because I don't want
Right.
to deal with it.
Nobody's gonna be playing it though.
Yeah,
You never
that's true.
know. Now
For
this
it to go
one,
this late,
you got Hydroform or Purge.
EDV Mighty Mo.
I dump Purge because I don't like it. The Horror, and then you get a Mountain. So this one, I'd say we're pretty good. We got a Vertenhaven out of the deal. 2 Zertal Swines, you can never say
Yeah.
no to.
This is something that doesn't happen often, which is
No.
we just got a bunch of gold cards that are actually in our colors.
Yes.
It's weird.
So, on to the last pack, which we all know is RTR, Return to Ravnica.
Mhm.
And, there's a Grove in there. Not really big, but I am actually seeing a card that my cursor's going to go over to.
Yeah.
And Lobber Crew.
I love Lava
Really?
Crew.
I don't like it in this deck.
No, I just like it as a card.
Oh yeah, it's
I
a good
love it
card.
to sit it out there.
You
In
know
this
what?
deck,
Well, no, I mean,
because
he's
you
got a
have
lot of
Ruination Worm.
gold cards right now.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, we do have a bunch of gold cards.
It might actually work.
It's a reasonable pick.
The Lobber Crew to me is you have a lot of fatty golds.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You put Lobber Crew out, it sucks up the damage, and then you can untap it when you cast a gold.
Yep.
So I like Lobber Crew on that pick.
The one I was gonna say originally was Explosive Impact, just because it's a
I would
solid.
have given you that.
I think it's pretty obvious here. I'm gonna let you guys say, and then I'll potentially tell you that you're wrong.
I would go with a Gutter Snipe on this one.
Okay. You too?
I was leaning. Yeah, it's like that one, and then I don't. Unleash is cool, but
Or the
I would
Ethereal
rather go
Armor,
for
I'd
the gutter
Yes.
snipe.
You guys,
What?
I expect you to get this right. No,
Oh,
Gorehouse Chainwalker. It's
You-
a creature, and Gutter Snipe is awful in our deck.
I was actually looking at Ethereal Armor as well.
I need
Yes,
to
because
slide
you
me
want
through
those
the internet.
whites.
I always go white.
I see that.
Oh, that's true. We don't really
Chainwalker.
have like any instants or
Yeah.
sorceries right now, do we?
True story.
Chainwalker. It's a good card. I
Alright.
actually put it in my queue.
Chainwalker it is.
Yeah, it's going. You get exactly what you pay for.
Right.
You get a 3/2. Oh wow, Bloodfray Giant's nice.
I like the Gate Creeper Vine.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, explain.
Mana Ramp. Runation Worm.
It goes into your hand. I guess it fixes you. See, I would have actually taken the giant.
I like the Giant too because you can unleash him. He's got Trample.
Okay.
He gets really big.
Yeah, like I mean, the giant only costs 4 for 5/4 trample.
All right, let's
Yeah.
go with the Giant
Like-
then because we're gonna put something big on the field.
Yeah, the thing I like about the giant is you can Blood Rush onto him, and it doesn't have to be a Gorkland Rampager.
It could now be Zertos one.
Yeah, I mean,
And then he's a 10 something with Trample.
yeah. I know the correct pick here. Do you guys? I think you do.
I'd go Seek Horizon.
Pet, never
Yeah.
draft again.
You're not liking the fire over there.
Yeah, dude, Annihilating Fire. Bread, sir. Is Seek the Horizon a bomb? No.
All right, we'll go with Annihilating Fire. Blah.
Blah. Listen, this deck is going to be consistent and good. Ooh, this is actually a slightly hard choice.
The Explosive Impact or another Chainwalker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm actually leaning towards the Chainwalker because
Yeah.
Explosive Impact 6.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think we have that many.
We do
low
have
drops.
a little bit of ramp though, so 6 isn't too hard. Can that hit people?
Yeah, you can do
yeah.
creature or player. So
I
Explosive
think we still
Impact.
just yeah, I think that's more
Okay.
Chainwalker. I like Chainwalker.
Mhm.
All right, well, we went with Impact. I see the card I would pick on this one.
Okay, what is it?
Electrickery.
Okay,
Because you can overload it and clear
I agree.
crap.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you're playing against tokens, it's good. It's a good card.
Yeah.
It's good in general if you have a lot of garbage out there.
Yeah, for sure. I like playing it post combat when they're like, okay, I blocked perfectly and all my guys are at 1 health, and you're like, overload like trickery, everything. It's like as good as Museum Mortars there.
Yeah.
Which I would speed open third pack. That would have been phenomenal.
So I'm looking at this.
Indrik?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking.
Just because it has the reach, which is a problem at points for Gruul.
Yep, so we have a little reach. That'll come down. We like that.
Yep. It's that or like
Um,
Shatterhorn, but Shatterhorn's really not that good.
I kind of like the Racecourse Fury on this one.
Explain.
Runation Worm, make it hasty, and Min.
Or we just take the creature that has haste.
Yeah, but you can give any creature with haste for this one for 1. That one's a 6-drop. We
Sure.
have a lot of big 6-drops.
Yeah, okay.
Got a lot of
Sure, I agree with you.
heavy hitters.
I'd probably go the Tenement Crasher because I've never actually played Race Course before, but
I
yeah,
have.
maybe
It actually works really well.
okay, cool.
So this one I already know what I would pick.
What is it?
Pursuit of Flight.
Okay, I would agree with you if we had not picked Morgburst earlier on, and I really, really want to splash it.
Or
So I
we
think
could
we should
go with the Monitor.
It's a good card. Actually, I like the Gate though because we've got a lot of creatures.
Alright, so go at the gate.
No, your guys' call. I think any of those three choices are fine.
I say go gate just to take
Okay.
it out of someone's hand.
Yeah.
Sure.
And now
Can't
we're
hurt to
looking
have
at
more gates.
now we're looking at something that it's just a crapshoot at this point.
Spawn isn't awful, but we don't really want to splash for that. If
No.
we were in Rakdos,
Right.
I'd say that would be a good card.
Which one?
Spawn of Rixmati. Or Maadi or whatever.
See, I was
Up-
gonna
up.
click the Ethereal Armor.
So you can click cancel. I'd be okay with that. I say this because the worst thing is when you're about to play a Ruination Worm and it gets canceled.
True, so let's table the cancel. Get rid of
Yeah,
that.
just get that out of there. The other choice would have been like Celestia Sentry. If you take Bale's Lizard, that's a problem. That card's really bad. If it was 1 red for its fire breathing, it might be okay because it's a 1-drop. But as is, it's just too expensive. It doesn't do anything.
True story. I'm actually looking at the Druid's Deliverance.
That's what I was
Coagulate?
thinking.
Yeah, I agree. Counterflix looks okay, but it's actually really bad.
I'm just gonna table the Mine Rot at this point because I don't feel like dealing with it.
That or Tick Thunder and Growth. Just-
Spawn's gonna get tabled at this point.
Sure.
Skull Rend is last. So let's go. Let's build a deck.
Agree.
Let's
A
build.
planes! We got a planes! So I think we should play Blue-Black Control. I think we have a pretty good deck here with Cancel and Mind Rot. Or the Den is okay. You know, we can give it Hexproof. And Bane LA Blackguard is just a really solid 2-drop.
All right. Well, for sure we're gonna be doing. Oh,
You think Gruul? Because we have 2 Zertos Swines? You just
Yeah.
double click. Oops.
All right.
No.
So there's Zertos Swine for sure. We're gonna see an Armed and Dangerous.
Yep.
Definitely the Gruul Charm. Gruul Charm. I'd probably.
Actually, yeah, I think
I'd
that's a
table it. It's a sideboard card right now.
Yeah.
The Clue Stone definitely will get put in. The Vert will get put in.
Indrik.
Indrik and the Gatekeepers will get put in. Let's get our gates in there. Boros,
Yeah, we do
Gruul,
enough. We've
Gruul.
got 5 gates. That's definitely enough to be playing a couple Gatekeepers. Sadly, we weren't on good colors for gates. Gatekeepers. Well, I mean, obviously, the one we got is very good.
It
It's
is.
Yeah.
So now we look at our red cards and we're going, okay, what red do we have? The Warmind Infantry will play. The Skullcrack will play. The
You can
Goblin.
just click on all their right now. that'll make me happy.
So how many cards are we at right now?
Oh,
It
except
should
for
tell
those.
us at the bottom. Or somewhere it should tell me. It doesn't tell me right now.
22.
Oh, 22, yeah.
The clear. Oh, you didn't put clear path in there. This is actually a really nice deck.
Yeah. So clear the
I like this a lot.
path. Oh, we'll do
Jim
that. Alright, so we got everything in there because you got to remember these guys are in the. So we're actually at 21 cards with 5 gates. So
Oh, okay.
we
Gates are
can.
included.
We didn't put Ruination Worm in, so we can go.
Yeah, we want that.
So we're putting 2 Ruination Worms in because why not?
Because we can.
And I think that would be a solid deck. So now you go. All right, let's add lands.
Yeah, we're at 23.
We're at 23. So
Uh,
all we need is 6 of each. I do 8 red. No, 7 red, 5 black. Or 5 green. Because you don't need a lot of green.
Okay, so there's 21 potential red source or red spells or casts or whatever that we need, and there's
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green. So I
Yep.
think we should be in like 9, maybe even like 10, 7 for sources.
So I'd
Not
say
counting.
8 red, 8 land, and then let's go with 4 green.
We need to factor in our guild gates because we've got 1, 2.
Well, I already did.
Yeah.
Okay, because we've got 5 gates that produce red mana and
Yep.
Right.
that produce green. No, 2.
And that would be what you're looking at right there.
Pretty solid.
I'd
Yeah.
say it would probably do very well. It'd probably go 2-1, 3-0.
I was kind of surprised with some of the cards that were left in some of the later
Yeah.
packs.
Yeah, the Zertal Swine, no. It really,
It's just good.
just pretty awesome
Just-
of a card. So,
Yeah, it's just really good.
I was kind of surprised that, we found a Verdant Haven so late. And Armed and Dangerous, like, pick 6. So,
Yeah.
But sometimes that's just how it is with drafting.
yeah, I mean, you
Right.
Everyone could be focusing on what they're doing and not as much of blocking other people.
so as always,
That's,
I'd say that was a pretty solid draft. And people can always ask us questions, send us an email. We'll be doing this every week, Friday or Saturday nights at 9 p.m., right?
I believe
Yeah.
so. That's going to
I
be.
think that's what we decided.
It's either 9 or 10 p.m., guys, Eastern. Please hit the follow button so you can make sure. We have to still get the Twitter up for this and stuff like that. I've got to do that. So, this is the first show. I'd say it went pretty well, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we had like 20 viewers for a bit, and considering LG is on right now, and this is aimed at StarCraft 2, because I think a lot of people who play a lot of Magic are gonna be like, okay, I've heard all this before. But
Right.
people who just play a lot of StarCraft and are kind of like, we'll call it splashing Magic, are
Yeah.
gonna be like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think that's actually really helpful. So,
And I mean, even the
Yeah.
people that have played a lot might
Right.
get something out of this.
oh,
Yeah,
for
because-
sure.
or even
I
just
mean-
the casual people, too, that are looking to get a little
Yeah.
bit serious.
And I mean, my goal is right now the Magic community has its people in there, but they don't have a lot of big voices out there that say, "Hey, look at Magic. It's still around. It's growing
Right.
every day." So I'm hoping down the road this show will become that. People can look at us and go, "Wow, yeah, we can talk to them. We can get Magic advice. We can play. We can do community events with people and just grow this into an amazing show." So, and that's why I like the drafting part. I like the deck tech part. I like our, back and forth where we have our, because we all have different opinions. That's the beauty of the show. I mean, you play a lot of draft. Nanman plays standard. I play a lot of just anything. So,
Yep.
and it can only get better. So, I definitely say week 1 went very well.
Yeah,
agree.
nothing terribly awful happened.
No,
It wasn't like, oh yeah, by the way, Twitch is down and Skype's not working,
Right.
and the world doesn't hate you at this very moment. Yeah, there's a little webcam thing. It's not a huge deal.
but we'll get there. And this is episode 1, guys. We will have it in podcast form soon.
I'm excited.
So you guys can listen to it if you guys are just you're not a Twitch viewer, but you want to listen to some Magic stuff. Nanman will help me out with that, I'm sure. We'll
And the
get it up-
VODs will be saved for the video formats, too.
and we'll get it up
on
onto a
Twitch
YouTube. I
and
will.
eventually to YouTube, yeah.
Yep. So, other than that, guys, why don't you give us your closings, and then I'll close it out, and then
Sure.
we're good.
You wanna go first? Or you want me to do it?
You guys can rock, paper, scissors.
Alright, man. Paper.
I'm going to say rock then, so you can go first.
All right, man. I'm going for no. I get to decide. I'll go
Oh,
first
yeah, you won.
because this is Magic, and going first is just better. in most cases. I think hasn't been. Yeah, we're not gonna go into this. As far as closing statements go, the biggest thing that I want anyone who watches this to remember from our draft is to stay open. I know it's so tempting to see, oh my god, Sire Insanity, first pick, if I get this then I'll win. Well, what if there's cards and you're forcing it? Don't do it. Take a Crawl Warrior. Take Punish the Enemy. These are good cards. Just do it. As far as closing statements, as far as me, you can follow me on Twitter at MorelTV. It's MOREL. Should be spelling should be up there. My YouTube, which I plan on doing some Magic stuff for in the future, set reviews and stuff, and draft videos, and whatnot. YouTube.com/MuataranTV, MUATARAN, and then you can follow me on Twitch. Just Twitch.tv/Muataran. And I'm good. I'm good here.
All right.
Sweet. So I guess that goes to me next. I'm Nanman. I do a lot of StarCraft stuff right now. If you want to see any of that stuff, you can check me out. It's all of my stuff is pretty much at The Real Nanman. My Twitter and my Twitch. I have a weekly web show called SC2 Up and Coming that I do, all based around the up and coming scene for StarCraft every Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/TheRealNanman. So if you guys, are into Magic and not as into StarCraft, now's a chance to check out that aspect of things. My YouTubes are actually at Nanman, because back when 2005 came around and YouTube had just started, I was able to get that before anyone else. So I have youtube.com/Nanman is all StarCraft stuff, and youtube.com/NanmanGames is all of my other stuff, Warcraft and Magic and other such things like that. So I'll be posting up more videos on both those in the future. Make sure to follow here as well, because we'll be putting up, a weekly show, and I'm sure we can even film some Magic Online stuff, or if we have a drafting night or something, we'll put them up. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Pat, you can give your shout-outs.
All right. So, as always, guys, I am the owner of UR Gaming. They help me put on these shows. Thank you to them. Definitely big props. I am a Magic guy by heart. I will always be. So I just want to spread my knowledge and, of course, my mad scientist skills of just making a deck and making it look so weird, but yet then dropping people's mouths. So if you guys have any questions, always come to the show. Ask. I'm not afraid to help you with decks. I will be streaming this weekend probably a little bit of a draft. So I'll be on my Hand From Above channel probably.
When's that going down?
Probably tomorrow night, sometime late tomorrow night. I just really I haven't drafted this week or played Standard, so you might see me playing my, if I'm playing some Standard stuff, you might see the Maze's End deck. I can guarantee you'll see the Maze's End deck.
Yeah.
Because it makes people rage quit. Other than that, definitely check me out at Hand From Above. Or at UR Gamers. That's where everything goes down for my team. And stop back next week, Saturday night, 10 p.m. I think, or 9 p.m. Eastern. And the show's gonna grow and it's gonna get better.
I'll be a jerk and I won't be here next week.
That's all right. I think we might talk to Boisterous and have him come in and.
Nice. Oh, does he play Magic too?
Yes, he does.
Oh, yep. I didn't know that.
Yes, he does.
Boisterous. Cool.
Yep, and maybe we'll have a guest in, and we'll chat over M14 some more, because the following week, after next week, will be that Saturday is pre-release day.
Yep.
So Biggie going on, so we'll talk about that. So guys, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for checking out State of the Gathering, Episode 1. I am Hand From Above with Nanman and Morel. I would like to thank you guys, and you guys have a great night.
Spread the word.